It is 1:30, Universal Time. I'm Jim Tedder in Washington. The United States says North Korea has launched at least 5 missiles, including a long-distance missile. Reports say the long-distance missile failed less than a minute after takeoff early Wednesday. 4 short-range missiles landed in the Sea of Japan. A top White House official says Assistant Secretary of State Christopher Hill will travel to the Korean area on Wednesday. Mr. Hill is the American representative to the suspended six-nation talks on North Korea's nuclear program. Reports say President Bush is discussing the North Korean missile launch with American allies. A White House official said the launch is not a threat to the United States. Reports from Gaza City say Israeli warplanes have struck the Palestinian Interior Ministry. At least 3 people were wounded. The Israeli military confirmed the attack. This is the second time in less than a week that Israel has hit the Interior Ministry building. Hours earlier, a Palestinian rocket hit the center of the Israeli city of Ashkelon. No one was killed or injured. The armed part of Hamas claimed responsibility for the attack. Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Olmert called the attack evidence of an increase in Palestinian terror against Israel. He warned that Hamas would be punished for the attack. Iraqi officials say the country's deputy minister of electricity and 7 of his guards have been freed. Gunmen kidnapped Ra'ad al-Harith and 19 of his guards in Baghdad early Tuesday. The condition of the 12 guards still being held hostage is not known. On Saturday, gunmen kidnapped a Sunni Arab member of the Iraqi parliament and 7 of her guards. Since then, Sunni parliament members have boycotted parliament and demanded her release. In other news, the United States military says an American Marine was killed in fighting in Al-Anbar province in Iraq on Tuesday. The top nuclear negotiator for Iran says his country is seriously considering an offer by some Western nations. The offer is aimed at pressuring Iran to stop enriching uranium. Negotiator Ali Larijani reportedly said Iranian officials want to discuss as soon as possible what they say is unclear about the Western offer. The Iranian state media reported Mr. Larijani's statement. He plans to discuss the offer with the European Union Foreign Policy Chief Javier Solana on Wednesday in Brussels. The 5 permanent members of the United Nations Security Council and Germany proposed the offer to Iran. In Mexico, the political party of presidential candidate Andrés Manuel López Obrador has called for a recount of the election. Mr. López Obrador says the count was not done correctly. On Monday, Mexican election officials said unofficial results showed that candidate Felipe Calderón won the presidential election. Officials said he received 400,000 more votes than Mr. López Obrador. 98% of the ballots had been counted. Mexican election officials began the official vote count on Wednesday. You are listening to the news in VOA Special English. Spanish King Juan Carlos has attended the first funerals of the victims of a train crash in the town of Valencia. Spanish Prime Minister José Luis Rodríguez Zapatero also attended some funerals on Tuesday. The crash on Monday killed 41 people. Spanish officials say 5 foreigners were among the dead. They are from Argentina, Bulgaria, Colombia, Paraguay, and Venezuela. Officials say the train was traveling at a high speed when it fell off the railway and crashed into a wall. The train's information recorder also shows that the driver may have had a heart attack before the crash. He was among the dead. American officials say videos of the launch of the Space Shuttle Discovery show that 5 pieces fell off the fuel container outside the shuttle. NASA officials say it is too early to say what the pieces were or whether the shuttle is damaged. Discovery successfully took off earlier Tuesday from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The space shuttle is taking supplies to the International Space Station. The crew will also study methods for inspecting and possibly repairing the shuttle. The space agency permitted the launch of the shuttle after deciding that a small split in the protective material covering a major fuel container was not harmful. Americans are celebrating the 230th birthday of the United States. President Bush spoke at a holiday ceremony at Fort Bragg Military Base in North Carolina. He honored the more than 2,500 American troops who have died in the war in Iraq. He said United States troops have brought freedom to millions of people in Iraq and Afghanistan. The July 4th holiday celebrates the signing of the Declaration of Independence by American colonists in 1776. In sports news, Italy has defeated Germany 2-0. Italy will now play in the final championship match of the World Cup games in Germany. The team scored no goals during the regular time period of the game. Then Italian players Fabio Grosso and Alessandro Del Piero each scored a goal during overtime. Italy will play either France or Portugal on Wednesday. Finally, this news. Takeru Kobayashi of Japan has won the yearly July 4th hot dog eating championship in New York City. This is the 6th time he has won the event. The 28-year-old man also set a world record, eating 53 hot dogs in only 12 minutes. The food-eating competition was held near the sea at Coney Island. And now, briefly, here again is the major news of the hour. North Korea has launched at least 5 missiles, including a long-distance missile. Reports from Gaza City say Israeli warplanes have hit the Palestinian Interior Ministry. At least 3 people were wounded. And in Mexico, the political party of presidential candidate Andrés Manuel López Obrador has called for a recount of the recent election. And that's the news in VOA Special English. From Washington, This is Jim Tedder reporting.